What's up, people of YouTube? This Driftor here, bringing you guys another video to the channel, and today we are going to be talking about the sensational movie that's going around on Netflix right now. It's kind of become a meme of sorts, and that is Bird Box. Now, I think everybody is aware of the fact that Bird Box is absolutely huge now in the movie community, and it's just become super popular online. And with that comes a lot of trolls or people who have very negative opinions or anything like that. Now, also, first and foremost, I did like the movie. I thought it was pretty good. It was a little lackluster in some ways, but for the most part, I genuinely enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I watched it. But with that being said, there were some things that should have been better explained, I think, and there's also benefits to it not being super explained and detailed and broke down. So I'm going to kind of get into that stuff here in this video. Now, the movie starts off with the two sisters driving home from the little baby inspection meeting, whatever those are called. And when they're driving home, all chaos starts to break out. Now, they were seeing that there were some things going on around the world when they were actually in the hospital, and I think also when she was at home before they left and went to the hospital. Sandra Bullock, that is. And on the way home from the hospital, all hell kind of breaks loose. The sister sees whatever this beast is. She inevitably crashes, and the story, moves forward from there. I think most people have probably seen the movie who want to. It's not your traditional, go to the movie theater style of movie. It's more of a, Netflix movie. So tons and tons of people have access to it. Can watch it pretty much anytime you want. So why didn't they show the monster? What was missing from the movie from them not showing the monster? Me personally, I liked the idea that they didn't show the monster. I feel like it adds a lot of suspense and thrill to the movie, whereas you take any other general horror, thriller, slasher, whatever you want to call it, and you throw it in there and you instantly show whatever the big bad monster is. I feel like it takes away from the quality of the movie, where you have this movie that's built to be like an apocalyptic style concept, where you see this thing that you can't actually see. This thing drives you to have suicidal thoughts and then end up killing yourself. So it's like zombies in a way, but not really, and the entire world is being taken over and people are dying, and it's a cool concept. It's something that we haven't seen before. It's a mental disease rather than like chemical warfare or like zombies, for example, like I previously said. It's something that is different, and with that, I think them not showing the monster is a very, very good decision to make. Now, from the research that I did, they did originally have a shot that they had filmed where Sandra Bullock had nightmares of what this thing had looked like, and it did show what the monster had looked like, but they took it out because ultimately it just wasn't very good. It felt like it was comical almost from what I had read online, and I can see why. I think that them not showing the monster added so much to it, because if you're going into this movie not aware of the fact that they don't show the monster, which I was not aware of that, it entirely leaves you guessing. Like you feel like every single time something's about to happen, you're about to see it. And they build this entire thing up to where you're not supposed to look at it. It's a bad thing to see this monster. That's like, when you do see it, you don't want to look at it, right? Like, you don't want to know what it looks like, but you also do want to know what it looks like. And first of all, if I was in that scenario, I would go insane not knowing what it looked like, because you couldn't look at it, otherwise you'd die, and it would just drive me absolutely nuts. A couple other questions that I have kind of about the movie is, where did it begin? Where did this thing come from? It just kind of appeared. They did kind of insinuate that it was something that had started because of like North Korea or some other country basically waging war on various different countries and stuff. I don't think that's true. I think that was just people trying to find a rational explanation in their head as to why it was happening. But I do want to know where it came from. Although I will say that would be cool if that was the way they were going with it, that it was like almost like chemical warfare, but mental warfare. I think that would be interesting to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to this, honestly, and hopefully they would explain some of the backstory to everything that's happened. But I genuinely did like this movie. I thought that it was pretty good. Like I said, it was a little lackluster in some areas. Some stuff was just kind of weird. Like, how the hell can we talk about how those birds managed to stay alive going down the river when they literally fell into the water. They're in like a little cardboard shoebox with holes poked in it, and they're going down the river, and this fucking box falls in the water, and these birds are drowning, and they just pick the box up, open it, and they're like, oh yep, you're good to go, and nothing's wrong with you. Like, you're not fucking completely soaked in water in a wet ass box that's gonna fall apart at any minute now. Like, they just went on with their lives, and that was just how that happened. How did they live? Can we talk about that? Also, at the very end of the movie, I won't, like I said, I'm not going to give away a bunch of spoilers here, but at the very end of the movie, there was a spot where, I'm probably going to have to mark this as spoilers, but anyways, there's a spot in the movie where they get to this location that's supposed to be like a safe zone, and that safe zone is basically like, it's like a sanctuary in a way. Well, what's shielding them from seeing the monster? There's this like courtyard, and what shields them from seeing this monster is like this grassy overlook that's like this, like, I don't know, leaves and stuff that's just over the top of the building. That makes absolutely no sense to me, because it wasn't like it was blankets or anything covering it. It was just, I feel like Mr. Monster Dude could just swoop on up over that, and everybody in there who has eyeballs are just fucked. So I don't know. They did have the birds to kind of warn people, so I guess that was the plot behind that. Like, hey, the birds are going to go off if you have eyeballs and you can see, just like run inside and don't look until it goes away. So I guess that kind of explains that part, but I thought that was kind of lame. Overall, the end is the weakest point of the entire movie, but everything else, in my opinion, is really good. Is it a little overhyped? Yes, it is. It's not like it's a fucking world-class best movie ever. But in terms of like a horror/thriller movie, it's one of the best ones I've seen, at least within the last couple of years, because we've been pretty low on good horror movies. And honestly, a lot of people liked A Quiet Place, I believe. I thought that movie was bad. Just absolute trash. This movie, I think, is better. But A Quiet Place, I just thought was super, super stupid. The whole movie was spent, like, with them not talking at all. Like, there's no audio. It was frustrating to watch. Anyways, guys, that's ultimately what I have for this video. I just kind of wanted to give my opinion and poke some holes at Bird Box and what the weak points of the movie were, as well as the parts of the movie that I genuinely enjoyed. Like, I really did like the movie overall. But ultimately, yeah, if your question was, why didn't they show the monster? The answer is that they did record a scene where they would show the monster, but ultimately that took away from the overall value of the movie. It is a little bit frustrating not knowing what it looks like, but you can go out there and find it. It's on the internet. It looks like a giant baby, basically, but yeah, the monster wasn't that cool looking. It added more to the show for it not to be in there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I want to know your guys' opinion. Did you watch Bird Box? Did you like it? Leave a comment down below. Anyways, guys, deuces.